Hi everyone, I'm Louis Girardin from Haivision. I'm the Viper product manager, and today we'll talk about Viper. So what is Viper? Viper is an appliance all-in-one solution. It includes encoding technology, it includes a video on-demand server, it includes distribution files, and it does streaming as well. In order to actually use the unit, we've made sure that since it is being handled in a public environment, we have provided the ability to actually use a PIN code number. So on the security side, you make sure that whoever is using the box is using it for the right reasons. The PIN number, in this case, ranges from 4 to 12 digits. You really decide how complicated you want to make it to be. The PIN number is also associated to your username and account, which implies that the administrator will have associated to you specific profiles, specific functionalities that goes along for the usage of the box. In this case, I'm going to use an administrative password, which will grant me access to everything the box can actually do. Today I'm seeing that streaming, recording, reviewing, and publishing, as well as administrative rights have been granted to me. To make a point, if I go back and I change my PIN code address, now I have access only to streaming and recording or reviewing, publishing, and I can even make it even more drastic and get to a point that all I can do is actually just reviewing. So we'll make sure that the box is really intended for the right purposes and the right people accessing it. It's not a general purpose box. It really is intended to focus on the needs of the customers. Let me key back again as an administrator. Last but not least, at this point, you also have access to administrative rights. So in the administrative portion of things, you have access to upgrade, calibration, restarting the Viper, shutting it down. Every single one of those tasks is also a cancel and confirm, clearly because they are not undoable. In order to do streaming and recording, first and foremost, what you would need to do is select your video inputs. So in order to do that, you go to what's called the stream and record portion of the Viper. Today, I'm using two video sources. I have a camera live feed, which is looking at me right now, and also I have a second input, which is an iPad, which plays a part of a computer in this case. In order to select the video sources, what you need to do is, of the multiple video I/O inputs which are located in the back of the units, you can see that you have DVI, component 1, has video, composite, SDI in. We handle from SD to HD, 3G, HD SDI as well. Multiple levels of video I/O permissible to actually access the box. It is not required to actually add a breakout box, such as other vendors might have. Or we're not forcing you to get into a point that you need to buy version B, version C, version A. No, actually this is all in one product by itself. We want to make sure that whatever I/O devices which are out there are supported and that you don't have to spend additional money to actually get the work done. Getting back into my sections of selecting the items. Right now, as you'll see on the right side of the screen, it's actually the iPad output. This happens to be an iPad 2, by the way. You can do a picture-in-picture mode as well, monitoring quality. And then you apply your sequence. On the audio front as well, we have a 1.8 jack, an RCA left and right, and also a balanced XLR left and right. So we're making sure that whatever connectivity which is out there today is being supported correctly and simply. Last, you can add title, descriptions, and durations. So in the case of you actually want to record any content, you can add specific naming. So let's say demo again, demo 1, and I can put a number here. Duration-wise, I can go from 1 minute to 24 hours. It really is up to you to decide how long you want to do your recording. Apply the sequence. And one thing that you might have noticed so far is that we made an effort to make sure that you don't have to read a document or a manual to actually use the box. It really is a step-by-step approach that we're taking, so that once you're doing your demonstration or you're doing your work, it takes a few minutes, merely minutes, to actually achieve what you want to do. Now that I've set up my video, my audio, and my metadata, I'm granted access to what's called stream and record. You'll notice that On the left side, you have streaming, you have hot marks, and you have record. One of the nice things that we've decided to do, which is really different than the rest of the competition, is that we've decided that streaming and recording are independent processes. So that in that case, if you're streaming, we're not forcing you to stream and record. We're not forcing you to record and stream, or vice versa. In this case, the two items are really distinct from one another. In order to actually look at the stream coming out of the unit, what I would do is I would grant access to the video built-in web server, which is coming from the box. So I did say at the beginning of this piece that it's an all-in-one piece. Yeah, many people are asking me, so where are all these pieces coming from? It actually all resides within the box by itself. So if I'd be a user and an administrator sets this environment to actually do the streaming and recording event, what I would do is add access to a web portal, the web portal which is built in from the Viper itself. And you basically serve to the address or the host name of the box. In this case, right now, I'm already logged in. And in order to look at the streaming and or the recording, first and foremost, what you do is you use what's called an in-stream player. It is not a QuickTime player, it is not a Silverlight, it is not a Flash player. It really is what we call a zero footprint player. The software player by itself is actually being spawned directly from the Viper. It is not being installed on your computer. It is not being updated or upgraded. It really is being sent from the unit by itself. Since we're using multicast, you can have access to as many software players as you need to, as you request. I would then simply click the link called InStream. It launches a software player called InStream. Right now it says that there's no broadcast available. What I'll do is I'll hit my streaming button, and right away it's going to show live streaming directly from the camera that is actually monitoring myself, as well as the output of my iPad 2 right now. Those are two video streams that are monitored directly from the unit. You can swap the sources if you want to. You can hide one if you desire. You can do a full screen. You can come back and swap again. It is really, really simple to use and intended for you to be as versatile as possible. Now that I'm streaming, I can also do my recording. I can hit my record button. Record is going to be initiated. One of the things which is important to notice is that streaming and recording, like I mentioned beforehand, happens to be two distinct processes. I'll stop my streaming, and you'll notice that directly on the in-stream player that you've launched, now actually my video is in still mode, actually, because there's just no stream actually being pushed out of the Viper. However, on the other end, we are still recording. So compared to other solutions out there, we're making sure that these two processes don't have to be done hand in hand, but really more like one can actually just do streaming and or recording, so that for any given reasons, at any given time, you can either stop your streaming or you can stop your recording, or vice versa. Now I can relaunch my streaming again. I can stop my recording. Once I'm done with my recording, I can either let it run the duration of the course, the duration that I've set, or I can simply just hit the done button, and it's going to start doing its own rendering. It's going to create, from the streaming that we've done, is going to create an asset, which this asset will then be accessible at the video on demand server, which is being served directly from the box itself. Now on my laptop, if I go back here and I close my in-stream player and I refresh my page, you'll notice that now I have a new thumbnail that just came up. Demo 1, 39 seconds. And if I click on it, it's going to launch another player, another version of InStream essentially, but this time it's actually going to have commands on it, which we'll call trick play commands. So for playing back, forward, pause, step by step. As you can see here, it's the same thing again. It's two distinct video files in that case. Very simple. In the event that you don't have access to your computer and you want to make sure that you've recorded the content, what we've done is as well, we've built what's called a review and publish asset browser, which will display all of the assets that's been recorded which are sitting in the box right now. It is really intended as a confidence preview monitoring. So depending on the elements that I have, all I'm going to do here, just you can drag and you can actually just scrub it, zoom it in, zoom it out again, picture in picture. You can go into a small, large thumbnail mode, list mode if you favor to. You can sort by title, you can sort by date, duration if you want to, tracks as well. So you saw that it went from 1 track to 2 tracks on the right side. And if you need to search by keywords, you can also type in the keywords in order to look for the asset that you're seeking. Viper is essentially, it's a small family. It is 2 versions of Viper. One is called Viper Max, which includes everything that you see here, meaning the video on demand, the streaming capabilities, the audio recording, and everything else that goes along with it. Allows you to actually serve the video from the box itself. There's another one called Viper VF. Viper VF happens to be the sibling of Furnace. Furnace is our video server that we provide, and essentially the Viper then becomes satellite feed recorders for the Furnace environment. You could have several Viper VF all capturing simultaneously content from various locations within your facility, and to be able to send the live stream directly to the Furnace environment so that people can actually monitor not just a pair of streams coming from a Viper, but multiple or several pairs of streams coming, several Vipers. And at the same time, content that's being recorded from any of the Viper VF would also, if and when the recording is completed, publish automatically to the Furnace server, so that the Furnace server becomes your video on demand environment that you rely upon. So I talked about Viper being an all-in-one product essentially. Multiple video I/O in, multiple audio in as well, a touch screen, something which is simple to actually manipulate and walk through, pin locked, making sure that the right people are using it for the right reasons. The box has been thought through, created, programmed, built in order to make sure that within half an hour, you take it out of the box, plug in your cables, start working with it, you record, you stream, you expose, and you create content. So this is Viper in a nutshell. I hope it was enjoyable for you. It was great for me to talk to you about Viper today, and I hope that we'll meet again. Thank you.